If I told you right now that your business cash flow could finally help you get approved for the business funding you've been looking for, even if your credit isn't perfect, I promise you, I'm not blowing smoke. Things are changing extremely fast in the banking, lending, and funding world as we speak. So in today's lesson, I'm gonna break down how Chase, one of the biggest banks in America, are changing the funding game. So what I want you to do right now is go grab your pen and paper. No, seriously, go grab your pen and paper because this is gonna be a good one and it's definitely gonna help you. And without further ado, let's dive in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I knew about this topic for a minute, but I wanted to make sure I had all my information accurate. I had all, my ducks in a row before I actually presented it to you. So with that being said, I just want to break down kind of like the old school method versus the new school method that banks or even just Chase right now is kind of leaning a little more towards. So really just listen to everything that I say because this can definitely help you, but if you just listen to half of the information, it can definitely hurt you, moving forward. So let's go ahead and start of how things used to work. So for years, banks judged you based off of one thing, for the most part, your personal credit. So some of us are kind of familiar with that, including myself, especially in the beginning. Late payments, denied. Charge-offs, denied. Low credit score that doesn't meet the qualifications, you guessed it, denied. You were not getting approved. Even if your business was bringing in money, your credit wasn't clean enough, and the answer was still no. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there were some outliers out there. I've even in my funding journey have helped a lot of people with late payments on their credit report still get $50,000, $75,000 in funding. But I can count on one hand opposed to how many other people I got approved where their credit was clean as far as getting those high limits. Okay. So I don't want anybody in my comment section saying, the cousin down the street was able to get $100 million and they had a 500 credit score. Look, there are outliers. Everything is not perfect. I get it. So now that things are kind of changing, the system now has a chink in its armor and it's pretty much for the good. The banks are now moving in a different direction. Now that Chase is partnering with Nova Credit, things are shifting into what experts are calling the new age of underwriting. Okay, but stay with me. So what does that actually mean and what is changing right before our very eyes? Right now, Chase is using tools or going to use tools like Nova Credit, Cash Atlas, and even Credit Passport to take a deeper look into people's business cash flow. So with that being said, that means they're going to be looking at their checking, how much money is coming in and going out, your expenses, your revenue, and how steady the income is. That is a big factor right there. A lot of people have money coming in and they got $100,000 coming in, but because of their expenses, they got $95,000 of expenses. That's not really steady for, these banking and lending institutions, especially one of the biggest banks in America. Okay. So instead of just focusing on what happened on your credit report years ago, they're actually going to look at what your business is doing today. And that is a big leg up for all of my business owners that are watching this, because this is huge. Because now if your business is making consistent income, even if your personal credit is not perfect, you can still have a shot of getting approved for that 25, 50, 75, or even $100,000 in business funding. And I know that can really help a lot of you. Even if you had $15,000 in business funding, think of how much you would scale after that. And also think about it like this. Your credit score is like, looking in a rear view mirror, but your cash flow, well, that's like the windshield. It shows kind of where you're headed, if that makes sense. That's the only, example I can think off the top of my head, but I hope you get it. Cash flow can mean various amount of different things. So I really want to break that down right here as well, because it's widely different of what they're looking for. Okay, so let's take a deeper look at what cash flow underwriting actually means or could mean in the future. Cash flow underwriting is when banks use your real-time business activity and not just your credit score to make that credit decision. So they'll possibly look at 3, 6, 9, or even 12 months of your business bank statements. Your income trends, meaning is your money going up? Is it going down? Is it fluctuating? Is it a roller coaster? What we doing? And then whether you're consistently bringing in enough money to cover your bills, how often you overdraft or bounce payments. So there's a lot of different factors that go in here. And then they also want to know how healthy and functioning is the business when it comes to handling debt. So visualize kind of like a fitness tracker. Your credit score is like your weight, okay? Just that one number. But your cash flow is like your heart rate, your steps, your sleep patterns, your energy, All of this tells that full story of what's actively going on in your business. So it's not just, hey, I bring in $2,000 or $2,500 every single month. I bring in $5,000 every single month. What do you have for me? There's a lot of different factors that still are going to play a key role when it comes to this. A lot of MCAs do this when it comes to it. They want to see, like, your business cash flow, what are you doing? So it's kind of like they're leaning kind of how, the playbook of what they're doing, but still adding in just a little bit more things as well. Now, I want to bring up an important bullet point that I was talking about in the beginning. But let me just break it down a little more as far as what Nova Credit and what it brings to the table, because I know a lot of you are probably like, never heard of Nova Credit. I think I heard it one time. I don't know what it is. What is it? Nova Credit's tools are basically the engines behind all of this shift right now. And to partner with that, Cash Atlas shows something similar. Now, what I mean by that is Cash Atlas shows your actual cash inflows and outflows. So what is the pattern that shows stability or risk? So when it comes to the trends and things like that, there are businesses that, of course, are consistent throughout every single year, throughout the year, okay? All 12 months, consistent. But there are some businesses, as you know, or whether you didn't know, that are really seasonal. So, they might not make money or a large amount of income for the next 4 or 5 months, but it's that one, holiday that just takes the cake for everything. So they might go 4 months, but then Mother's Day comes around, Father's Day comes around, Thanksgiving comes around, Christmas comes around, all of this type of things, and they just make up for those 4 months and then some. They triple, quadruple, their income, coming in. So Cash Atlas kind of breaks it down as far as, okay, what is going on? When do we make cash flow? When do we not? And how do we go forward from here? And then next, with Cash Passport, it helps people who just moved to the US or have a thin credit profile by pulling international credit data. Yeah, a lot of you didn't know that credit was kind of like a universal thing. It's kind of different in different countries and areas, but it's still a thing. So for all of my immigrants that just came in or anything like that, and they don't have the the backing of their credit, by US standards, they can pull outside information to really dictate whether they're going to approve or deny you. So this is really, really going to be helpful. So that means that even if your score is low because of an old mistake or you haven't built up your credit yet, your current business activity can still get you a yes, aka an approval. Now, let's go over in the next section who this benefits and really who this doesn't benefit, because I know this sounds all fine and well, but it's not going to benefit literally everybody across the board. But let's start with, the new approach of who it helps. This helps new business owners with limited credit, entrepreneurs with thin or challenging credit files, okay? And people who had past financial issues but are doing better now. But ladies and gents, here's the truth. It does not, again, help everyone. If your business is only making, and I know this is a stretch, if you're only making $3,000 to $5,000 a month and you've got recent collections or late payments on your credit report, especially with Chase, you're not gonna get what you're looking for. You're not gonna get $100,000, all right? You're still seen as a very high risk, all right? Get that through your head. So if you're making a limited amount of income every single month and you just had a late payment with Chase or anything like that, you're not gonna get what you're looking for. Because I had a few of my clients that have already, told me about this, and I'm like, yes, I already know. And a lot of them have defaults with Chase. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they're gonna look at your cash flow, but they're still gonna look at everything in a whole. They're still going to kind of peek at your credit. All right, he has a 600, but he doesn't have any recent late payments. He doesn't have anything with us, but he makes $10,000-$20,000 a month. Okay, we can work with something, but we're not gonna do. He or she has a 600, and they just defaulted on the business credit card that we gave them 7 months ago, and now they're coming back just because they have cash flow. We're not approving that. We're not doing that. We already went down this road with them. We're not going to do it again, and that's for, sadly, a lot of you. So you have to understand this. But don't worry, I'm going to tell you how to position yourself, okay? So how you can get ready for this new wave of funding. Here are the 4 quick steps. Starting with number 1, you need to keep your business bank account clean. Please avoid any type of overdrafts and stay in the positive no matter what, okay? Every single dollar tells its own individual story. Don't give them something to assume about. Track your income and expenses. Use tools like QuickBooks, Wave, or even a simple spreadsheet if that's what you're into. Consistency is key, ladies and gents. Separate your personal and business finances. Don't commingle funds, all right? Just because Bob can access Bob LLC's money does not mean it's not, okay? Please keep them separate. That's how you get audited as well. Next, fix your personal credit. I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm just going to tell you that right now. You don't have to do it with me. You can do it yourself. That's fine. I'm just telling you, you're still going to have to fix your personal credit, because even with Chase looking at your cash flow, again, your credit still matters, like I said earlier, especially if you're applying for large amounts. Okay, they are not going to give you $200,000 because you make $30,000 a month, but you just got recent late payments with them. They're not doing that. So if you're missing any of these pieces, don't worry. I have another solution that is definitely going to help you. Because here, this is why I created the How to Credit Start program for business owners just like you. Okay, even though Chase is doing this, they haven't rolled out the red carpet just yet. A lot of banks and lenders, is going to take a while for them to really kind of, tack on to the wave. So you're still gonna have to get your personal credit in order no matter what, especially if you already gotten business, funding with Chase. You can only get but so much. So we still need to clean your personal credit, and that's where I'm gonna help you. So what we're gonna do in this program, we're gonna help you fix your personal credit, and then we're gonna build your strong personal credit foundation as well as your business entity to get you positioned for real business opportunity. Because here's the truth, approvals start before you apply, okay? And with the How to Credit Start program, we're gonna take you step by step from the credit repair to business structure, funding, readiness, okay? So if you're serious about growing your business and tired of getting denied, this is your path. And what I want you to do is click the link below to sign up for your free consultation so we can help you get you to that side. So we can get you the Chase, KeyBank, Citizens, it doesn't matter. $200,000 is literally on the other side of you having great credit. So again, click the link below and I'll definitely see you on the call. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope that this helps one of you guys. I really try to break it down as best as I could to make it really as simple as I could. If you have any questions or comments or anything, don't forget to comment on this video so I can help you shed some light on anything that I said in this video. Again, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, ladies and gents.